What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Eminem, and I'm back with a review for you guys of the new Powertown Bruiser Brody figure. So, just got my Powertown figure today, and a couple of things that I wanted to point out to you guys. So first, let's start off with just looking at the figure itself. The figure itself is beautiful. So let's look at it. All right, so pretty much the head sculpt is, the head sculpt is on point. Looks just like Bruiser Brody. It's very heavy. It's very weighted figure. Definitely not on the scale of a Mattel figure. It has a lot more weight than a Jazzwares or Mattel figure. So I think that's definitely good. I would say it reminds you of the Storm collectibles. Definitely along that line, and later on in this video I'm going to show you why I really compare these to Storm collectibles, which that's not a bad thing. We all know, if you've ever dealt with a Storm collectible, you know that they do quality. So I guess first off, I can say that this Bruiser Brody figure is quality. Now in the background, go up, you can see we got all accessories. We got the vest, we got the belt, the chain, comes with a comes with a hand, the detachable hands. But let me get into a couple of things that I noticed as a figure photographer with this figure. So the first thing I want to show is right here is your Storm collectible. Now, we already see height wise, the height's on point. We know the Bruiser Brody was like, I think he was 6'7", 6'8", somewhere up in that line. I don't have his exact size, but I know Bruiser was pretty tall. And as you can see, in terms of height wise, we know Liger is 5'11". So that's pretty accurate in terms of height. Now, the reason I'm comparing it to Storm collectible is because, number one, the Storm collectible, again, has some size to it. It has some weight to it, which I like. But if you are familiar with the Storm collectibles, they are quite a bit bigger than the Mattel figures. So if you go and put up a Mattel figure, well, you know what? I have one around. I'm gonna just do a Big E for reference purposes. So that's the Big E to Bruiser Brody. As you can see, that's pretty. You know, Bruiser has quite a bit of size. Now, can you shoot it? Absolutely. I mean, it's all about, as they said, camera angles and that type of thing. But if I had to compare these figures to a figure line, I would say Storm collectibles. Now, this is the other reason that I say Storm collectibles. If you look at the packaging, one thing that I definitely like about the packaging, as you can see, the top, basically everything fits in the packaging. You put the top back on, and it's almost like pretty much brand new. So, and it's the same thing. If I go down, Same thing for a Storm collectible. Packaging is almost designed the same way. You have that bottom, top closes over. So pretty much that same setup. Also, let me move that out the way. Also, if you notice the hands. So let me show you. Now, that's the other reason that I say it really reminds me of a Storm collectible. They have that similar nub type hand. So now I'm going to see. Look, I'm going to try this on hand to see if they fit on together. Voila. Now, this is kind of a proven fact that this is a Storm collectible side setup. As you see, I just put a Storm collectible fist on a Bruiser Brody figure, a Powertown figure. Now, this is the first time I've done that. And that's also good to know. Now, obviously, we know the painting is totally different, but this definitely opens us to those Storm collectibles that are, you know, I guess coming out. If they keep the same design, that gives us much more variety to how we can use these figures. Now, the other reason that I said it's Storm collectible too is the Storm collectible in terms of articulation. Now, let me show you something. With this one, you see, we got more flexibility. That's one thing I liked about the ab crunch with the Storm collectible. I love it. You know, we got with the Powertown. Let me set them up here. We don't necessarily have the ab crunch. Even though we got that separation, he doesn't really flex over, which that's one of the things I found. As a figure photographer, there's kind of limited articulation. Now, if you want them that's going to keep it MOC, you're going to, you know, basically do face-to-face shots. Oh, yeah, we're good. But posing-wise, you're going to have some limitations to it. Obviously, we have the arm joints. Let me get his hand real quick. But we have the arm movement. We have that ankle movement, twist, and the flex of the knee. And they did fix the thigh, but I still would be, and I think somebody also noted it, and they noted it in their video to be that they were still kind of skeptical to deal with flexing that thigh too high, and I would pretty much agree with that. I wouldn't take the chance because it does. After that thigh goes up to a certain extent, it feels like it may pop. But it's other than that, I mean, for me, it's still, you know, it's still a great figure. It's still a great figure. You still have enough articulation to get some great photos out of it. When it's photographed, it looks beautiful. So the paint decos, the accessories, the belt definitely look, man, let me tell you something. Look at the detail in that belt. That's beautiful. So, I mean, when it comes to details, Powertown nailed it. You know, when it comes to details, I have to say Powertown nailed it. And like I said, I'm going back to the Storm Collectibles thing. I definitely like that they use that body style. I just wish we had got more of an ab crunch, but I also understand that we were going with a retro type figure with a new style. So they were kind of walking both of the fences. A little of that old school with that new school feeling. And I would definitely say if that was the point, they nailed it. We definitely got that. They nailed it. So I can't wait to see which other legends we are going to get. I hope we get some of those legends that were named in the Remco line, i.e. Rock and Roll Express. Man, I would love to have a Rock and Roll Express in this line. The Missing Link, and it was some other ones that he mentioned. But there is great potential with Powertown right now. I'm glad to see them take on giving us those legends that probably we would never get in figure form, because they didn't wrestle for WWE, they didn't wrestle for WCW, and they didn't wrestle for AEW. So we probably would have never gotten those in the current figure form with this current articulation. But Powertown came in and they're filling in the gaps, and I commend them for that. So hopefully, they keep this formula. There's nothing that I really would say that need to be changed. This is only me saying, as a figure photographer, just take extra care when doing certain poses. That's the only thing that I want to say to my figure photographers. But if you are just one that's going to leave it in a box, you're going to set it up on the shelf, or just, match them up, do simple poses, hey, pose them to your heart content. But if you are one who are going to give those intricate poses, and you know how we tend to get where we want to just recreate a photo to the T, I just say take some care, because again, it doesn't quite give us the articulation that we have been accustomed to with the Mattel figure, with all the rocker joints and all the other stuff. But it was not meant to be that way. This was not a figure that was designed after the Mattel pattern. This was Powertown doing their own design with their own style, and they nailed it. And I mean, no complaints on this end. I think it's a great figure. I think it looks good in the box. And I definitely love the way the setup with the box. And like I say, that's definitely a strong comparison to the what is the name? The Storm collectible figures. So if you are a Storm collectible, this is like basically Storm collectible meets old school wrestling. And I know they did some new school. I got the Jushin Thunder Liger here, and they did the NWO, or they basically did the Hogans, and I think they just did I can't think of the Japanese wrestling name that's in AEW right now. Tetsu, some similar like that, but I know they did that one. So definitely, I would say if you are a fan of that type of style, and you are a fan of the old school wrestlers, snatch these up. And I know they was a limited run, and since people been getting them in hand, those who did not pick them up are really kicking themselves right now. But if you have the opportunity, hopefully Powertown does another run with them, snatch them, because these are some good ones. I've seen pictures of the Stan Hansen. I started to get Stan Hansen, but I have my own stand that I pretty much did, which pretty much the same size, and I got some photos coming with Brody and Stan, so I didn't grab him. And I had to carry, I know them carries are still on back order, or they still haven't been shipped yet, but I had my carry Von Erich and Magnum from the Mattel set, but I seen the Magnum, and the Magnum looks good, and that US title looks really good. So again, they all look good from what I've seen. I have not heard any complaints. So if you have opportunity, I say get them. And Powertown, great job. Welcome to the, what they say, figure. Welcome back, because I know you guys were part of the Remco, but welcome back to the figure family. And it's definitely a breath of fresh air to have the legends, the old school legends, focused and somewhere for them to be acknowledged at. So other than that, you guys be safe out there. Enjoy the summer, and I'll probably be back with later on in about a month or so with some footage and stuff, because I'm gonna be hitting up a couple of WrestleCons and hanging out with some legends, and I'm gonna come back with some footage and share my experiences with you guys, and chop it up a little bit. So until then, you guys stay safe out there.